Boom. What's up, guys? AZ Legend Adventures here. I got my man Blue.
What's up, guys?
He's our newest river guide, and he's going to be showing us today his new kayak that he got in.
So this is the Hoodoo Impulse 120 in the lime green color. I got this kayak specifically for going down our Verde River here. And all of the mods, everything I've done are specifically for that. So some of it won't make sense to, you know, say offshore fishermen. You would buy this kayak for a different purpose, but this is very specific for exactly what we're doing. Very first thing you're going to see, I did a little spray paint on it, came lime green, like I said, super bright. Just wanted to give it a little contrast and dynamics. So one of the very first things I did was add the kayak trolley, or the anchor trolleys. This originally here was the paddle holder, repurposed it for a net holder, and you can see here I got the kayak trolleys on. They work great. I've got the quick disconnects because I've got a kayak trolley on either side, so when I use my anchor that's on my old box, I can switch the anchor to either side depending on whatever bank I'm trying to face to fish. Got my anchor cleats, or my trolley cleats, to lock off the trolley in place, and then I've got a I'm not sure exactly what that's called in the marine world, but just a tie off for tying off the anchor. I have installed a accessory holder. This is going to be for when I get the live scope, my fish finder set up. I'm getting the Garmin EcoMap 74SV, so that comes with the Panoptics option. It comes with the clear view and side view transducer, but for the Panoptics you need a one that's directional, you can move. So I'm going to build a adapter that comes off down for that when I get it, that I can move and, you know, direct at what we're trying to go for. So this is a cool little feature that I made that is just specifically for what we're doing. This front hatch I thought would be a perfect spot to turn into a cooler for when we're doing our trips. So inside I insulated it here. I've got my thermal insulation, and actually it keeps it really cool in here. And so what I can do in here, I've got the self-bailing scupper plug, and I've actually got a set coming for the rest of the kayak. They're just not here yet, but this way I can throw a bag of ice in here and drinks when we're out with the clients, and I've got a cooler, built-in cooler right into this. I can carry drinks for everybody.
What's this do?
This is an access port. I actually put this in myself for the wiring.
Nice.
There's no hatch up here. The only hatch is in the middle of the kayak, so you can't get to anything up here. Even these are set in boxes. They're molded in boxes. When you take this out, there's no access into the you know, hull of the bow of the boat. So I put in this access port. It's just a simple little 6-inch access port, but that way I had access to the electrical and access to, I'm going to use this front rail here is where the mount is going to go for the live scope, the fish finder, when I get that. But right now it's just holding some plastics. So moving around to the front, you'll see I've got my navigation lights. These are specific for anybody that actually knows what you're doing. You've got your red is your port, your green is your starboard. And they need to be visible by so far, you know, all that good stuff to make it legal.
This is dope.
Look here, yeah, this is my control panel. So you can see I've got my switches for everything on here. This is my control for the front navigation lights, on off. My next control is for my stern light, which is, I can fold it down, so when we're going through the river I don't have to worry about it getting knocked off if we, you know, pass through something low. But when I'm ready for it at night, it simply turns up, and then we hit our power, stern light. There it is there. I also have some deck lights inside here on both sides, and they are white light. Now I see a lot of people on YouTube and other things doing blue lights, and actually in Arizona blue lights are illegal. They're specifically saved just for law enforcement or fire department, stuff like that. So the way it reads is no visible blue lights. You're allowed on your vessels, kayaks, boats, anything like that. So went with the light hull lights. Again, my rear two controls here, this will be for the fish finder when I get it, and this will be for the panoptics when I get that, and those are both connected, ready to go. I've got my wires ran up front ready for them. I specifically went with this panel because it did have these, so I've got my USB chargers, speed charger, slow wattage charger, and I've also got the 12 volt socket power. People call them cigarette lighter, style powers, but this is for if we ever need a spotlight or just any accessory that might run off of that. We've got power for that. Again, my anchor trolley on this side, same thing, got my quick disconnect on it. I'm using this paddle holder right now. We're going to see how this works today. I've got another one that's bigger, sort of hangs more off the side, but I'm trying to keep everything sort of tight. But we'll see how that works. And
that one looks good.
Yeah, if it's good. We'll see. It's just how easy it is to operate or not. I've added a lot of hooks, and these actually came stock with it, but I did add these. I've got a bunch of them throughout the kayak, just clip-ons, tie downs. This way I can clip like my measuring board. I like to secure everything. Rolling is a very big possibility in the Verde River. I've done it many times. If you've been in it long enough, you've rolled. So yeah, you want to make sure everything's secure and you're not going to lose anything when you flip over. The seat is as sturdy as you get it. When it comes from the factory, there's a lot of lash in it. It moves back and forth, and that actually makes it so that the seat has a tendency to come out of the tracks. There's 3 height settings. I've got it all the way back in the tallest one now. But what happens, sometimes you'll bounce and shift, and it'll come up out of the track, and if it's loose, has that lash, it'll allow it to skip the track that it's in and go to another one, and your seat will come crashing down if you're not careful. So I put spacers just made out of bungee in the secure blocks here, and that made the seat so that it's nice and tight, no lash, so that while you're sitting on the seat, it's not going to bounce, go up and down. So I had an option. This is a pedal kayak, but for in the Verde, we hit so many shallow areas and stuff. Having pedals on the kayak just isn't something that you could really do. We drag bottom constantly. So I just told them, you know what, I don't need the paddle. Just keep this center spacer here, and that's good enough. But speaking of how we run aground constantly, I made this keel guard or hull guard. I formed this myself. It's on there with double-sided sticky tape. We'll see how that holds. If I need to do something more, we'll see, but it seems to be holding really good right now. I used Gorilla Glue double-sided tape. That stuff holds awesome. That was really hard to form. I used ABS pipe instead of like a PVC or something else, so it's a very, very hard plastic, which made it really hard to mold, but I think it's going to pay off. If you feel that, you can feel it. I mean, that sucker is hard. Yeah. That is hard plastic. So I can ram anything with that if I need to. So moving on, I added the foot controls here. So where the control panel is mounted, that used to be the spot where you had a hand steering option. Because it was foot pedals, your feet would normally be busy paddling. So it comes with a hand controller for the rudder. But because I'm not using that, I switched and added these foot controls on. So this is something you won't find on the normal Impulse when you get it. It comes with no foot controls because, again, your feet are paddling. But I wanted to use it for the rudder. So I ran a single piece plastic tube guide all the way up. Ran my cable through that. I've got it, you know, sealed off, try to stop any moisture at all from getting inside the tube. But again, the tube is one piece all the way through front and back, so the water can't get into the hull anyways. But yeah, this is now how I'm controlling the rudder. If you want to go back to the rudder, I'll show you how she works. This is the drop down for the rudder here. It's spring loaded, so as soon as you pull it, it drops right down, and you can pull it back up with that. But yeah, so when I'm controlling the pedals,
That's tight.
you know, now I've got foot control steering for the rudder. Let's see here, I think we're getting about to the end of everything that I've done so far. You hear my little dog barking in the background there. So yeah, I've got the stern light that folds down, like I said, for when we're, you know, during the day when we're not using it. My battery I have mounted inside this rear hatch. It's fit in there perfectly. I've got some more double-sided tape holding it in, along with this bracket. This bracket on the bottom side is a flush head, like a button head style bolt with rubber washers on it, so it's completely sealed. Again, it's actually in the up track of the kayak, so I don't have to worry about it hitting anything, doing anything bad like that. But works great right there. It's out of the way, frees everything up. I believe this is the natural spot for the battery, but I just didn't want it out in the open. I wanted to conceal all of my wiring. So if you notice, you can't see wiring anywhere. There's nowhere you're going to trip on it, catch it with your foot. Everything is concealed, tucked nice and tightly inside the hull. Everything is waterproof connectors. Everything's taped up, zip tied up out of the way. And I don't have to worry about any issues when that, with my electrical. The control panel is a marine control panel. It says waterproof, but of course I'm not going to try to get it wet. We'll try to keep it dry as much as possible. The way that I set up the terminal bolts, I can hook up a charger to the battery, so that battery should last forever. I've got a charger maintainer charger that I can hook to it, 12 volt, just to make sure that it's always stays nice and charged up. But so this is where I'm going to mount the fish finder when I get it. It'll go on this right here, be right in front of us, so we can see exactly what we're looking at. Again, it comes with clear view and side view, so I'll be able to see straight down or out to the sides. Once I get the Panoptics, I'll be able to actually scan out in front of us or all around us, 360 potentially from wherever we're sitting. So I think that's just about it.
All right, we at the water. Here's our secret launch spot. Blue. I almost knocked you over. All right, he's floating.
Reckless, but I mean it's no problem at all. This is extremely stable. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
Dance for us, dance.
right. Yeah, no, it feels good. It feels real good. I love it, man. I'm dry, so that's the biggest thing. It was able to handle everything that we asked it to. Stability was just outstanding. Bounce off anything I needed to bounce off. Yeah, it was great. Big confidence builder for sure. So I feel great. I think it's going to be awesome.
Impulse 120 by Hoodoo.
For sure. Thank you guys.
All right, see you, Blue.